if you love productivity and getting things done, I know you have heard of Notion, the productivity app that is above all productivity apps. It allows you to be creative and create your own space, even something that you may call a second brain, so you can achieve a higher level of productivity. So in today's video, before we dive into the wonders of Notion, I'm just going to share with you the 5 mistakes that I made when I started playing with Notion so you can avoid them. Hello my love, my name is Nicole Charnell and I want to say welcome to my channel. I do videos on healthy intentional living, and that is just living your healthy life with intention. So like I said, in this video we're talking about Notion. Notion is an amazing app or platform, or whatever you want to call it, where you can create a space that you can use to achieve or boost your productivity. Notion became really popular within the last couple of years for those who like the idea of having a dashboard, having a program or platform that works custom to their life, being able to create a space pretty much from scratch. It's like coding without actually knowing how to code. It is an amazing app. I will definitely link it down below if you don't know what Notion is or you've never seen it before, but you probably do since you clicked on this video because you want to hear about the mistakes that I made when I started using Notion. So the main reason I looked into using Notion is obviously the productivity aspect of it. Being able to create your own space is an amazing part of the program, but it definitely came with some downfalls. So the first mistake that I made when starting my Notion space is trying to make my Notion look like someone else's. Looking on YouTube and watching the Notion tours, watching the second brain, my second brain in Notion, watching people create in Notion is something that is just so amazing. Watching people and how they just think of creating databases and think of creating tables and calendars to make their life better. It's super addictive, especially if you enjoy like just the sheer creativity of it. Watching that was really addictive, but then it became really toxic because it was just like, I want to make my Notion look like someone else's, and that's not realistic. I needed the Notion to work. I needed Notion to work for me and my life, so I needed to only really take away the things that I was going to use. But I definitely got sucked into that trap of watching Notion tours every single day, hours upon hours of Notion. Yeah, definitely got sucked in. That leads to my second mistake, which is obsessing over the aesthetics of Notion. And if you don't know already, I'm not an aesthetic girl. I am not good at being aesthetically pleasing or portraying something that's aesthetically pleasing. So when I found myself getting trapped into, oh, I need my Notion to look exactly how it looks on someone else's page, all the colors and the vibes and everything like that, yeah, it was a problem. It just played into the obsession I had with watching the Notion tours and then trying to make my Notion look like someone else's. And this really stopped the productivity aspect of the app or the site because I wasn't doing anything productive. It wasn't helping me. I was just making my Notion look aesthetically pleasing, but it wasn't helping me do anything. It wasn't helping me achieve anything, helping me do my resets or my weekly planning. It just wasn't being beneficial, and therefore I wasn't using the app properly. Now, speaking of apps, that leads into the next mistake, which is trying to use Notion to replace all of the productivity apps that I have been using up until this point. It is amazing the fact that I can put a calendar into Notion, but it's literally just a blank calendar, and then I have to fill in every single aspect of my schedule, so to speak. However, having reoccurring events and reoccurring tasks within the calendar kind of clutters it up a little bit, and I really can't see the day. So then I have to go back to the table view of the database and then look at it that way. Well, then I might as well just have a list. So the idea that I thought I had to basically take Notion and eliminate, for example, my Google Calendar, it just wasn't feasible. My Google Calendar was already working for me. I already can put in my reoccurring events, reoccurring days that I work. All I have to do is copy and paste. I can view it any way I want to, but it'll still be a calendar. Versus as in Notion, it's not really a calendar, it's a database that I can put in calendar view. So it wasn't really serving me in the way that I needed it to serve me, especially in the aspect of I need my calendar to hold my events, appointments, and all that. So once I realized I didn't have to replace my productivity apps like my Google Calendar with Notion, I was like, okay, I can use these in tandem, and then figuring out how I can use them still together to still be productive. That was when the productivity was like clicking, and then I could actually have a good workflow. Okay, it's okay if I have my calendar open on this page and my Notion open on this page, because they can still work together. Now, that doesn't mean I don't use the calendar portion of Notion in my databases. Some of them, it's beneficial to have a calendar view. For example, in my content planner, I do have a calendar view where I can just basically move the videos around, and that's something I find really beneficial. And then it's also separate from my personal calendar, which my calendar holds my work schedule as well as like any appointments that I have. So having them be two separate things is beneficial for me because they're two separate portions of my life, and I really can't work on them at the same time. I can't be at work and then working on my YouTube channel. So there was no reason for them really to be together. Next mistake that I ran into when creating my Notion space was trying to do too much. I was watching these Notion tours and these second brain tours and seeing how they really just broke down every single page, led into another, led into another. Every database was connected to each other. And I just was trying to do it all. I was trying to have my weekly review go into my daily review go into my monthly review go into my yearly review. And just the connectivity of it all was really overwhelming. And I think that's one of the downfalls of this app and this program, is that it can get overwhelming if you're not keeping the boundaries set, if you're not really looking at the program as, okay, how can I make this beneficial for me? And just looking at it as, oh, I need to do everything. I need to do all the things. So doing too much, definitely a mistake. It got me overwhelmed, and once again, out of that productivity vibe. Now, the last mistake I made when I started using Notion is passing up on all the great templates that are out there, especially the free ones. I mean, if you want to pay for a template, no shade, because some of these templates out here are amazing. The things that they can do, the things you can integrate in them. But especially the free ones, the ones that are like within Notion, you can really start a great page just based off of a simple template. Just searching through the templates and seeing what they have, seeing all the things that it could be or you could use it for. That I passed up on that at first and thinking I had to create everything myself. But really, you can just take a template and then make it your own. You start with good groundwork, and then you just add the pieces that you need to add for your life, and the things that will help you. It will help your productivity. This will save you tons of time when you're setting up your Notion for your life, however you want to use it. Don't forget, your Notion doesn't have to be complete in one day. And really, it wouldn't be a good program if it was, because the point of Notion, the point of the creativity of it is that you can build upon it. You can make it more, you can make it less, you can make it simple, you can make it complicated. So thinking that you have to complete it all in one day is definitely just going to overwhelm you and not make it useful for you. I know when I first started using Notion, once again, I made all these mistakes pretty much at once, and I stopped using it within like 2 days. And then getting back into it was even harder because I was like, well, it's not perfect. It doesn't look like this. It's not aesthetic. It doesn't have all these templates. No, I just needed to be able to work with the program and use it on an everyday life, my everyday life. So now I'm at a good place with my Notion. I no longer make these mistakes. And if I feel myself slipping into the aesthetic appeal of it, I just remember it doesn't have to look like everybody else's. It can look like my own Notion. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I also hope the thunder and the rain isn't too loud in the background, but you know, if it is, it's fine. And if you are using Notion for your productivity, make sure you leave me a comment down below. Share with me what you love about Notion and what you love to use your Notion for. I mainly use mine for my YouTube channel, but I've kind of evolved it into using it for my everyday life and my just everyday productivity. And of course, I use it for my 12-week year, which if you haven't seen that video, I will link it on the screen. It also has a free template in it for you if you are doing a 12-week year. So if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do so by hitting my face down below. Thanks for watching this video, guys, and I'll see you on my next one. Bye.